People who have had COVID-19 can get long COVID, even if they had no symptoms or only mild symptoms during the infection. You're more likely to get long COVID if you had to go to the hospital because of COVID-19. If you did not get the COVID vaccine, if you have a disability, or if you have a long-term health condition.
Hello everyone, I'm Sign1News anchor Martha Anger. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. Thousands of basketball fans are in the state of Georgia this weekend for the 76th Men's Annual and 32nd Women's Annual SEAAD Basketball Tournament. The best players from the Southeast, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, North and South Carolina will go head-to-head in a two-day tournament for the championship. The games will be played at Sampson Health and Wellness Center in Lithonia, Georgia. That's about 20 minutes outside of Atlanta. Then after the tournament, be sure to join the tournament after party and award show at the Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. That's about 15 minutes from Lithonia. Sign1News will be there as well, live streaming the event on our social media pages. If you need more tournament information, head to seaad.us. It is going to be a fun weekend. The bodies of the two Americans killed during a kidnapping in Mexico were brought back to the U.S. today, Thursday. A local prosecutor's office says a Mexican medical examiner completed a forensic exam to determine their causes of death Wednesday morning. Once the bodies are in the U.S., an official familiar with the investigation says a second autopsy will eventually be conducted. Two other Americans who were kidnapped survived and are being treated in U.S. hospitals. A Mexican state official says the four Americans were found in a wooded house in or near the Mexico border city of Matamoros, where they were kidnapped last Friday. Mexican officials say they are still investigating what happened. The countdown is on in California. Heavy amounts of rain is predicted to fall over the next few days in some of the same areas that have already been hit by massive amounts of snow. About 16 million people across Central and Northern California are in the path of an ominous atmospheric event that will bring rain on top of snow. And that will make navigating out of an already tight situation possibly even more treacherous. The 1-2 weather punch could begin late Thursday and last through the weekend. Several people have been trapped in their homes for weeks by walls of snow. And some of them have started running out of food, water, and medicine. In one miraculous story of survival, an 81-year-old man was rescued after surviving for nearly a week alone in his car, stuck in a snowbank on a desolate California highway. He said he survived by eating candy and croissants he had in his car and rolling down his window occasionally to eat snow. And he managed to keep himself warm with only light windbreaker, a quilt, and a bath towel. Drag queen icon RuPaul is speaking out on legislation aimed to restrict drag show performances. Anti-drag bills are working their way through legislatures in at least 11 states. The bills are being introduced in Republican-led states, for the most part, where politicians claim drag performances expose children to sexual themes and imagery that are inappropriate. But advocates say the proposed measures are discrimination against the LGBTQ+ community and could violate First Amendment laws. In an Instagram post on RuPaul's verified account, the Emmy winner called the new anti-drag bills the work of bullies and a classic distraction technique. He says these anti-drag bills are designed to turn the focus away from the real issues that lawmakers were voted into office to tackle, such as job security, health care, and keeping children safe at school. Earlier this week, we told you about Walgreens' decision to not distribute abortion medication in 21 states. That was in response to GOP attorneys general from those states who sent a letter to Walgreens executives in February threatening legal action if they mailed abortion pills in their respective states. In response to Walgreens' decision, California Governor Gavin Newsom announced his state will not renew its $54 million contract with Walgreens. Newsom says California will not stand by as corporations cave in to extremists and cut off critical access to women's reproductive care and freedom. He said California is on track to be the fourth largest economy in the world, and it will leverage its market power to defend the right to choose. Walgreens has not yet commented on the state's decision not to renew its contract. Higher temperatures in the Arctic could lead to potential health threats in the future. NASA climate scientists say the warmer conditions are causing part of the region's permafrost to thaw. Permafrost is a frozen layer of soil that is beneath the surface. Scientists say if the permafrost thaws significantly, some viruses that have been lying dormant for tens of thousands of years could emerge and possibly endanger animals and humans. A French professor named Jean-Michel Clavier wanted to study the risk posed by frozen viruses, better known as zombie viruses, to see if any viral particles were still infectious. And he found some. In 2014, he managed to revive a virus he and his team isolated from permafrost, making it infectious for the first time in 30,000 years. Then he did it again in 2015. One of those virus strains was almost 48,500 years old. Since permafrost provides an oxygen-free environment that is not penetrated by light, Scientists say it's like a time capsule of viruses and mummified remains of long gone animals. NASA says efforts need to be made to stop the thaw by addressing overall climate concerns. Anyone can be a Barbie girl or boy today. It's National Barbie Day. Fun fact, on March 9th, 1959, the iconic doll debuted at the American International Toy Fair in New York, created by Ruth Handler and named after her daughter, Barbara. Barbie was the first doll with adult features. Handler wanted the toy to let girls dream big. Over the years, Barbie has had 200 careers, including astronaut, surgeon, pilot, nurse, reporter, and even presidential candidate. In 1962, Barbie purchased her first dream house before women were even allowed to open their own bank accounts. And she traveled to space in 1965, 4 years before the actual moon landing. That's cool. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.